I mean, just before the start of the quiz, so that you know. But yeah, he's been good as gold this week. Right, let's get straight into this evening. Then we're starting with art and literature, kicking off with question number 1, and it's this: in the Shakespeare play of Macbeth, which general received a prophecy from 3 witches that he would one day become king? Has Jack got chocky chops? No, he's got sore lips. We have to put stuff on him. It's a habit thing. He keeps licking his lips, and we can't get him to stop at the minute. So yeah, it's a habit thing. I mean, he's been to the doctors, and we're on something. Number 2, name either of the 2 cities featured in A Tale of Two Cities. So name either of the 2 cities featured in A Tale of Two Cities. I'm loading up my quiz document because I wrote this on Monday. It's been a long week and I can't even remember. Oh yeah, that's your connection round. Pictures in 5 and 10. Okay. Number 3, which 1956 Dodie Smith novel featuring canine leads was subsequently adapted into animated and live action movies. Right, I need to turn this light down. But it's all controlled on my right. Elgato, there you are. Elgato Control Center. No accessories found. Brilliant. Number 4, what is the name of the architecture decorative art style inspired by natural forms such as curves of plants and flowers? So what is the name of the architecture decorative art style inspired by natural forms such as curves of plants and flowers? May need to double check that. Number 5, who is this? Number 6, Catherine Marchant and Katie McMullen are pen names for which prolific author? I'm staying off for a minute. Catherine Marchant and Katie McMullen are pen names for which prolific author? Author? Hey, why is everyone picking on me tonight? Jay will give at least one answer away and then just respond. Hey, I don't think I've given an answer away for a while. Number 7, who created the character of Adrian Mole? Hold up 1 second. I've just had a message. Here, I'm on the wrong mouse. Question number 8. How many artists painted the Sistine Chapel? So how many artists painted the Sistine Chapel? I can't talk today. Number 9, what nationality was Alexandre Dumas, author of The Count of Monte Cristo? So what nationality was Alexandre Dumas, author of The Count of Monte Cristo? And finally, number 10. This is an example of which art style? So this is an example of which art style? Round 2 with geography for you. Starting with this, number 1. How many countries share a land border with Denmark? I'm not including bridges and tunnels. So how many countries share a land border with Denmark? Oh, I thought I pushed the button. There we go. I'm back on screen. I'm just taking some tablets while I was off screen. You don't really want to. I'm not great at taking tablets, and that's not something you wanted to see. Number 2. What is the name of the sea separating Australia and New Zealand? So what is the name of the sea separating Australia and New Zealand? Number 3, what is the capital city of Singapore? So what is the capital city of Singapore? That is a scalpel about to cut a cable. Let's move that out of the way. Number 4, name the country from the flag. There's very nearly 2 flag questions in here tonight, and I thought I would have got lynched, but I did catch it when I was putting everything into PowerPoint yesterday. Number 5, which South American country is just 9.6 miles wide at its narrowest point? So which South American country is just 9.9? It's 9.6 miles wide at its narrowest point. Number 6, what is the capital city of Sweden? Number 7, what was the capital city of Australia before Canberra? Number 8, the lek is the currency of which European country? So the lek is the currency of which European country? Number 9, Sri Lanka is an island country found in which ocean? This was your second flag question. I changed it. I was good. And finally, number 10, what is the largest country by area that is a part of the European Union? Yeah, I had to tweak this because I originally had this, what's the largest country by area in Europe? And it threw up a couple of weird answers when I was checking it through. So I just rejigged this to a more definitive answer, which is what is the largest country by area that is a part of the European Union? I've got my window open in case you wondered, with the very, very loud train going tootling along. Okay, final round then before I take a break. In which decade? Now I know I've messed this up with trying to give you the answers in advance before, so I'm going to give you 3 clues for each question. All you need to do is decide which decade it is from. So it's from the 1920s to the present day, i.e. the 2020s. I've done it again. Hang on, let me just. Yeah, I have done it again. I can't get him. Brilliant. There we go. In which decade? From the 1920s to 2010s. No decade is repeated, so there are 10 questions. No decade will be repeated. I now need to get rid of that off my screen. Yeah, so no decade repeated, so it may help you with a bit of process of elimination. Work out which ones go where. So 10 of them. Here we go. Number 1. So in which decade the highest grossing film of the decade was Avengers Endgame? The UK's EU referendum took place and video game Minecraft was released, going on to become the best-selling game of all time. 20s to 2010. 20s to 2010. I still think I'm in the 2010s. Leave me alone. I try to be helpful. I'm just not going to put up answers anymore. Ooh, hello. That's on the wrong one. There. Number 2, Chariots of Fire wins Best Picture Oscar. The iconic photo from the Tiananmen Square protest is taken, and Australia and Canada gained official independence from the UK. So which decade? Remember, these will all be up on the hub in the break, so don't worry if they go too quick. Number 3, comic book characters The Flash, Asterix, and Dennis the Menace made their debut. The Vietnam War began, and the precursor of the European Union, the European Communities, began. So comic book characters, The Flash, Asterix, and Dennis the Menace made their debut. The Vietnam War began. The precursor of the European Union, European Communities, began. Number 4, the video sharing site YouTube launches. The Da Vinci Code is the biggest selling book of the decade, and the Second Gulf War took place. So the video sharing site YouTube launches. The Da Vinci Code is the biggest selling book of the decade, and the Second Gulf War took place. Just name the decade, Haley. These 3 events happen, and then it's name the decade that they happened in. Anywhere between the 1920s and the 2010s, and no decade is repeated. Number 5, the Wall Street crash occurs. The first animated short film by Walt Disney is released, and the first ever Le Mans 24-hour race takes place. So the Wall Street crash occurs. The first animated short film by Walt Disney is released, and the first ever Le Mans 24-hour race takes place. Well, then they're wrong, aren't they? I love that, but we've got some twice. Well, then they're wrong. Number 6, Casablanca wins Best Picture at the Oscars. 2 Olympic Summer Games are cancelled owing to war, and the League of Nations is dissolved. A few people saying it's hard tonight. It's been a while since you've had a really, really hard quiz, and if that's, I didn't think it was hard tonight. I'll be honest. But then the ones I think are easy, the ones I think are hard, people find really easy. So, anyway, number 7, the world population crossed over 6 billion for the first time. The Battle of Britpop came to a head with an Oasis versus Blur chart battle, and the Channel Tunnel opens. Yeah, no decade is repeated. All of these take place from the decade of 1920s up to the 2010s. Number 8, the first patent is obtained for a turbojet engine. The chocolate chip cookie is claimed to have been developed, and The Wizard of Oz hits cinemas. Number 9, the first steps are taken on a surface outside of Earth. Doctor Who made its first TV appearance, and the FIFA World Cup came home for the first time to England. So the first steps are taken on a surface outside of Earth. Doctor Who made its first TV appearance, and the FIFA World Cup came home for the first time to England. And your final one, number 10, The Godfather wins an Oscar for Best Picture. The iconic Saturday Night Live... I'm not even going to point out my own mistake. The iconic Saturday Night Live launched on US TV, and the first cell phone call was completed in 1973. Yep, all right, I'm waiting for it. Q, Alan Jackson, and Colin both coming through going, yeah, see, you will give away an answer at some point this evening. It's the first time I've have wanted recaps on. I'll pause on the pictures. So art and literature, round 1 was in the Shakespeare play Macbeth, which general received a prophecy from 3 witches that he would one day become king. Number 2, name either of the 2 or ibuprofen in a minute. But anyway, right, round 1, art and literature, number 1. In the Shakespeare play Macbeth, which general received a prophecy from 3 witches that he would one day become king? It is Macbeth himself. Yep. Number 2, name either of the 2 cities featured in A Tale of Two Cities. It is London or Paris. Number 3, which 1956 Dodie Smith novel featuring K9 Leeds was subsequently adapted into animated and live action movie? It's 101 Dalmatians. Number 4, what is the name of the architecture, a decorative art style inspired by natural forms such as curves of plants and flowers? It's Art Nouveau, which is probably spelt wrong, but I don't know. Art Nouveau. Number 5, who is this? That is Germaine Greer. Number 6, Catherine Marchant and Katie McMullen are pen names for which prolific author? It is Catherine Cookson. Number 7, who created the character of Adrian Mole? It is Sue Townsend. Number 8, how many artists painted the Sistine Chapel? It is 1, Michelangelo. He did the ceiling, and then contractors did the outside bits. Number 9, what nationality was Alexandre Dumas, author of The Count of Monte Cristo? French. And number 10, this is an example of which art style? That is Surrealism. Round 2 with geography. How many countries share a land border with Denmark? It's just the one, it's Germany. Number 2, what is the name of the sea separating Australia and New Zealand? It's the Tasman Sea. Number 3, what is the capital city of Singapore? It is Singapore. Number 4, name the country. That is Rwanda. Number 5, which South American country is just 9.6 miles wide at its narrowest point? It is Chile. Number, when it wants to change. Number 6, what is the capital city of Sweden? It's Stockholm. Number 7, what was the capital city of Australia before Canberra? So for a temporary period, it was Melbourne. Yeah, while they were waiting for Canberra to all be sorted, Melbourne was the temporary capital city of Australia. Number 8, the lek is the currency of which European country? It's Albania. It's the Albanian lek. Number 9, Sri Lanka is an island country found in the Indian Ocean. And finally, number 10, what is the largest country by area that is part of the European Union? It is France. Round 3, in which decade? So let's go through these. Number 1, highest grossing film of the decade, Avengers Endgame, UK's EU referendum, etc. is the 2010s. So that was the most recent one on the list. Number 2, Chariots of Fire won Best Picture Oscar. The iconic photo from Tiananmen Square protest is taken, and Australia and Canada gained official independence from the UK in the 80s. Number 3, comic book characters Flash, Asterix and Dennis the Menace made their debut. Vietnam War began, and the precursor to the European Union, it's the 50s. Number 4, the video sharing site YouTube launched the Da Vinci Code. Is the biggest selling book, and the Second Gulf War took place in the noughties. That's the 2000s for our American cousins, because I believe they didn't call the noughties the noughties over in America and Canada and stuff. But yeah, I hope you knew what I meant. Number 5, the Wall Street Crash occurs. The first animated short film by Walt Disney is released. That's the 20s. Steamboat Willie. Number 6, Casablanca wins Best Oscar. 2 Olympic Summer Games cancelled and the League of Nations is dissolved is the 40s. 2 Summer Games were cancelled because of World War II. Number 7, world population crossed over 6 billion for the first time. The Battle of Britpop came to a head with an Oasis versus Blur chart battle, and the Channel Tunnel opens. It's the 90s. Number 8, the first patent is obtained for a turbo jet engine. The chocolate chip cookie is claimed to have been developed, and The Wizard of Oz hits the cinemas in the 30s. Number 9, the first steps are taken on a surface outside of Earth. Doctor Who made its first TV appearance, and the FIFA World Cup came home for the first time to England. It's the 60s. And then all of that nonsense there, including 1973. Would you believe 1973 took place in the 70s? I know, shock horror. I think that's the one that was going to really trip people up, actually, that last one. Is whether or not they could work out sure about it, I would just say maybe write down a little hint, as if you're at a pub quiz, rather than just in case for whatever reason it doesn't work again. It's working, but yeah, just in case it doesn't work on your end, just write a little hint down for now. But anyway, right, connections. Here we go. Question number one. Complete the name of the cinema advertising company. Watt and Dean. So complete the name of the cinema advertising company. Watt and Dean. Number two, what is the first name of the Austrian-born action movie star, actor turned governor of California? So what is the first name of the Austrian-born action movie star, actor turned governor of California? Number three, in space, no one can hear you scream was the tagline to which 1979 horror film? Number four, complete the name of the fictional character and brand name. What Crocker? Number five. Whoa, hello. Get rid of that. This is a Ferrari what? A car that may share part of its name with an extinct group of animals. So this is a Ferrari what? A car that may share part of its name with an extinct group of animals. Number six, what is the name given to the smaller smooth stones typically found at beaches or streams? So what is the name given to the small smooth stones typically found at beaches or streams? Number seven, what first name is shared by singer Durst, a TV personality Syriax, and Steeplejack Dibner? Number eight, what is the name? Excuse me. What is the name of this Simpsons character? Number 9, in geology, what B is the name of the solid layer that lies under loose material within the crust of the Earth? So in geology, what B is the name of the solid layer that lies under loose material within the crust of the Earth, as a very loud train goes rumbling by. And as always, question 10, what links the 9 answers together? Yeah, so whilst off screen there, I don't know what's up with it. All I've done is just deleted everything and just rebooted it, put it back in, and it's working again. For at least for part 2 it is anyway. I'm not going back to look at part 1 now, but part 2 is working. Right, general knowledge then. 10 random questions to wrap up tonight's quiz. Number 1, what is the first book of the New Testament? See, other people would have like big teams of people with like loads of monitors and stuff and production things in the background to deal with all that while I'm trying to host a quiz. But no, I can do it all myself. Don't have a choice. No, I only got me. Number 2, who is this? Oh, fiddlesticks. I meant to change this person. You'll see why in a minute, but I did mean to change this person. Number 3, which singer's first UK number 1 was ... Baby One More Time? Number 4, the Manhattan Project took place in which decade? Number 5, which song by Queen had the lines, "So forget all your duties"? Oh yeah, Fat Bottom Girls, they'll be riding today. So which song by Queen had the lines, "So forget all your duties"? Oh yeah, Fat Bottom Girls, they'll be riding today. Some more messages coming through. You can tell people have me on mute, which I understand because I would. But obviously I went through a recap, didn't I, with the questions? But obviously if you had me on mute, you wouldn't have realised I was recapping the questions because there was a problem with the website. So people were asking where the answers were. Yeah. Number 6, what can go in front of Meaning of Life, Life of Brian and Flying Circus? Oh, my head. Number 7, which superhero character is the TV show Smallville centered around? You'll all be pleased to know Saturday's quiz is pre-recorded. It's all done. Number 8, name the actress pictured here. Number 9, name the sportswear brand. And finally, we got there. Question number 10. Which singer said girls just want to have fun? So which singer said girls just want to have fun? Personally, I want to have a long lie down in a darkened room, but I've still got for you in a minute. All right, dude. Yeah? Okay. Right, here we go. Complete the name of the cinema advertising company. Da, 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 da. It's Pearl and Dean. Number 2, what is the first name of the Austrian-born actor, action movie star, actor turned governor of California? It's Arnold. Get to the chopper. It's about the only one that sounds roughly like a celebrity I can do. Number 3, in space, no one can hear you scream was the tagline to which 1979 horror film? It was Alien. I need that, because there's some of these you may not have heard of. Number 4, complete the name of the fictional character and brand name. It's Betty Crocker. Number 5, this is a Ferrari Dino, a car that may share part of its name with an extinct group of animals. Number 6 is Pebbles. For those of you who are originals, who will have seen Pebbles pop up as an answer in random places many times, but it is actually there whenever it's supposed to be today. Yeah, Pebbles is the name given to a small, smooth stones typically found at beaches. Which first name is shared by singer Durst, TV personality Siri X, and steeplejack Dibner? It is Fred. Number 8, that is Barney Gumble. Number 9, in geology, what B is the name of the solid layer that lies under loose material within the crust of the Earth? It is bedrock. And so what links all of those answers together? It is the Flintstones. So number 1 is Pearl, which was Wilma's mum. Number 2, Arnold was the name of the paperboy in the Flintstones, who popped up quite a lot. Number 3 is, well, it was an alien, but he was known as and called the Great Gazoo. Was the name of the alien in Flintstones, and then the rest are pretty much straightforward, really. If you know Flintstones, Betty Rubble, Dino the dinosaur, Pebbles the daughter of Fred and Wilma, Fred itself, Barney Rubble, and Bedrock is where they lived. Well done if you got that tonight. General knowledge, number 1, what is the first book of the New Testament? It is Matthew. Number 2, that is Michael Palin. Number 3, which singer's first UK number 1 was Baby One More Time? It was Britney Spears. My loneliness is killing me, and no, I can't do that with my headache. Number 4, the Manhattan Project took place in the 40s. Number 5, which song? Oh yeah, this is going to annoy so many people. Which song by Queen had lines? So forget all your duties. Oh yeah, fat bottom girls, they'll be riding today. It's not Fat Bottom Girls, it is Bicycle Race. Yeah, I know the word Fat Bottom Girls is in there, but I know it's another song, but it's not. Number 6, what can go in front of Meaning of Life, Life of Brian and Flying Circus? It's Monty Python, featuring the answer to number 2. Or number 1, whichever one it was. Number 7, which superhero character is the TV show Smallville centered around? It's Superman. Superman. Number 8, name the actress. That is from E.T. and a very, very young Drew Barrymore. Number 9, name the sportswear brand, as I've removed the block at the bottom. That is Admiral. And finally, number 10, which singer said, girls just want to have fun? It was Cyndi Lauper. She came home in the morning light, and her mother wanted to know when she's going to live her life right. I think she did all right out of it, really, Cyndi Lauper. Right, tot your scores up then. How have you got on this evening? I think I pushed the button on the... Yes, I did. I've pushed the button on the after quiz post. I'm just going to close all that down. I'm getting very confused. Your tiebreaker question then for tonight is this. In feet, what is the diameter of the London Eye? So in feet, what is the diameter of the London Eye? Remember, as always, on here, nearest to it gets the point. This will become more prevalent and more required when I get JVPQ answers up and running, just like JDQ is up on Quiz Hub now. JVPQ will be joining it very, very soon. I'm just in the process of finalizing the code. Once I've done that, again, as always, I'll get the Patreons to test it out on a couple of quiz nights. And then once I know it's working solidly, I will pass it out to all of you. I've got some tweaks I need to make to JDQ because I don't think some of the algorithms are working. Some of my code and functions aren't 100% correct, but I'll check through that when I get a chance next week. But anyway, as I say, nearest to this gets the point. It is 300.